another edition of Checking In with Hein and Johnny, where the hosts bring in mystery topics that neither host knows anything about until the mics go hot and on the air. We are the show that keeps the host from talking about the weather and World War II 24 hours a day. Hey, Heine, man, what's on your mind?
Mind. This,
Looking good, cowboy.
this is the AI creation of me, and today's relationship show, I am in full AI gear. This is as close as I thought I could get to the icon they gave me when we did the AI for the logo.
Well, I see you got plenty of space there for your shotgun shells in there. And you know what? Last night I was flying in, and of course, Southwest. If I fly in on Southwest, I know that it's going to take my bags 45 minutes to make it from the plane to where I can get them. So I approached the baggage carousel, and there is, I don't know, 4 flights are coming into one bag claim.
Yeah,
all
as
at the
usual.
same time. So there's 150 people around there. And I realized I am not disciplining my image very well, because there is this guy in front of me who is wearing a watchman's cap, some kind of stripy t-shirt, and very nice brand new bib overalls, and probably some newbies.
Those are my people.
And that
That's the look.
would pair pretty well with that hat you got there, big guy.
Totally.
And so then
I love it.
I'm watching him. He's got it's like, really, the bibs are the thing. The bibs. I thought so. This is Utah.
Oh yeah.
And then he's got one daughter who's kind of a little honey boo booed, and then another daughter that apparently has like gone completely off the reservation and has some fashion sense. She's got a nice blue sweater, a little bow in her hair, some good shoes. He's like,
Totally embarrassed of dad.
yeah, she was keeping a distance.
Oh,
she should.
Yeah, she was. Even if physically she wasn't allowed to go too far in the airport, she mentally was away from that family. She spent enough time on TikTok to know that her family's a little Utah. Little Utah.
He had to be from, I think his name, he was either Roy from Payson or Payson from Roy. I don't know.
Either way, it's perfect either way. I love it. That that little family relationship fits perfectly in today's show, because today is the relationship show right before the Valentine's. Next week, as a tease, just so everybody knows, I will be dispensing with the 5 best ways to help you get some points with your significant other. This show, you're going to give us some points that you would give, because this is your relationship show today. But that's later. We're teasing that. We'll get us started with our relationship show with this question. Did you see the incredibly popular play or movie Wicked, Heine? Did you see that last year or this year?
Did that have a Triumph Spitfire in it?
No, there were no MGs, no Jaguars, no Triumphs. No. So is that your way of saying?
Well, let me back up. I do believe I have seen the prequel to Wicked with the flying monkeys. There's and your little dog too, lady. And
The Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon video, yeah.
Glenda, and there's some other people. I believe one of them is a brass chainsaw juggler.
Yes. Yes, so
And
you
there's
did see the
some
older
sort of
one. You saw
cat.
yes. You saw the older one with flying monkeys that we all saw.
And then I heard there was a link to a website, and I did follow that, and I did find some relationship improving items and videos on that website.
You should be very, very careful about internet websites about improving your love life. Those can be tricky.
I do believe it's wicked.com. I don't know. I don't want to promote.
That's they are restricted for age groups in Texas and Virginia, and yeah, you can't go on those sites in every state. They make you put your driver's license on. Right? Those are, I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think it's the same Wicked site. So that would be a no. You never said I didn't see it. It's a big
To the movie.
It got a lot of
This on my own.
You didn't need to see the movie, but to be interested in that, you were interested already. Another huge relationship movie. Oh, go ahead.
Please tell me more about the Wicked. Is it about relationships? Will it help improve my relationship?
I believe it goes with the theme with Earl from Payson or Payson from Earl, the family dynamic. I believe these two, I have not seen the movie, but it is definitely two very famous singers that sing and fly and do a lot of that stuff. I have not seen it. There's another one too, Frozen, a huge family relationship show. Did you ever see Frozen?
Did Keith Richards play the Wicked Witch to the West? Look,
we are.
I got some flying monkeys. They get come after you. I'll bet.
I've been seeing flying monkeys all weekend.
I think it's better, that we delve into a movie and Broadway show that we haven't seen.
That's right. Well,
that's how misinformation is spread.
That's how this pod rolls. We have so many folks that love us for our Broadway and relationship movie. Sometimes you surprise me. Sugar Plum Fairy on Hallmark, you gave us like a 15-minute soliloquy that knocked my socks off for Christmas. So I'm telling you, you surprised me. So that's why I had to ask, because big relation. You didn't have little with your boys, and you had to have for Frozen and Wicked. You kind of have to have somebody that's in that demographic to have seen it. I think that's generally true. And you didn't have that like element in your life. I don't think.
It's a generational thing. That's I saw The Lion King and Aladdin. Aladdin, I can give you a great review on.
Nice.
And then when Frozen and a bunch of this other stuff came out, we were watching things like Dodgeball.
Right.
And now I've gone back, and so now I can give you a review of every Trash Truck episode. And Luca, have you seen Trash Truck?
No, I have not, but I know some people in my family would love it.
The talking garbage truck?
Oh, my grandkids, whoo, boy, they love trash trucks. They love any video.
So on New Year's Eve, we're getting ready to, we're having a party. And so our house is very mid-century. So I figured out a mid-century movie to put on the TV silently. You don't need to really hear what's going on. And it was Palm Springs Weekend, I think is the top. And it was a direct copy of Where the Boys Are, starring Connie Stevens and Robert, the guy who was on Baba Black Sheep and Wild Wild West. Come on, Robert.
No. Robert Wagner. No.
No, not Robert Mitchum.
One of the
Robert,
Roberts.
Another mental slip. So I put that on the TV, and my grandson Charlie comes up and he wants to watch Trash Truck. And so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not watching Trash Truck right now. We're going to have an adult party and we're going to be watching this show. Well, not the thing to say.
No, Charlie's not interested in that.
So he is running around. He is pointing. He has a little tantrum or meltdown, as it's sometimes called. And he says, "This is all your fault, Mama." And then his mother grabs him by the hand and off he goes. He's not to disrespect the grandfathers. I thought it was it was hilarious.
Hilarious.
His forehead wrinkles up, and
Motion.
so we weren't watching Trash Truck.
Trash Truck is the show.
Frozen, missed it. You anything to say about Frozen?
No, we have to talk about relationship movies. This is the relationship show, so I was legally bound to talk about relationships, so I had to. Before you give us your top 5 ways to impress your spouse for Valentine's Day, before you do that, tell us, do you and your wife share a bathroom or bathroom sink? I have heard many adults cannot share a sink with the spouse. Tell me if you have a separate bathroom or sink in your marital relationship.
Somehow we've never we've got 2 sinks. Everybody gets their own sink.
Okay.
And there's one sink that I am constantly or occasionally unstuffing.
Oh, then we are twins. You tell your story, I will tell mine.
Oh, I don't know if there's a big story to it other than just the general.
Always clogged.
Frequently clogged. Frequently pulling out clogs. Here is a relationship tip number. We want to start with 5?
Start with 5. Ooh, nice.
Number 5. Always cheerfully unplug the sink and get good at removing the horseshoe trap down there, whatever it is, so that you can retrieve various items of jewelry from there. And do it with a smile.
Yep. Oh, there is a story you had. That was exactly what I was hoping for. So I will add my experience. As we've talked about a few times, you've lived in just a few areas. Allison and I have lived in 15. I mean, we've moved 28 times. Every single sink that my wife uses clogs. 100% of the time. Every location, no matter how long we live there, 5 minutes, 5 years, it's always clogged. So I just like you, the little gooseneck thing, I have to get down there with my arthritic knees and unclamp it, and out comes the most foul-smelling sewage that the bowels of hell have burped up through methane-infested cow dung, comes out, and the bathroom smells that way for 2 or 3 days. It's in every location. Every location. My wife is incapable of keeping weird, black, devilish vampire sewage out of her pipes. I don't know if that is anybody else, but that is literally, obviously, the both of us. So, yes, same for me. And yes, I do have a separate sink. Everybody I know has to have a separate sink. I have to have it for my sink to operate. My sink will no longer operate if I share the sink with my wife because hers never works. So that's full on. So number 5, cheerfully unclog the poop in the crook neck pipe under the sink. That's a good one, Henry. That's a really good one. The next question, before you get to 4, 3, 2, 1, next question. Once your mom passed on to that huge house in heaven, did you feel guilty that you weren't nicer to your mom because of all the times you ignored her call when she called? Or did you call enough? Or tell me about that in the life.
I think you always have regrets about how you treated your mom. But I religiously, being a mama's boy, having the privilege of being a mama's
Nice.
boy, every Sunday night I called my mom. Every Sunday night.
You were a good guy. Henry, that's why you're the moral backbone of this show.
I don't know. I don't consider myself to be. I've got some other pro tips coming on the show, but I always called my mom. Yeah, I just, it's like, boom, called my mom.
Just like you, I, of course, regrets. I ignored the call from time to time and didn't want to listen to what movie. She gave me a plot by plot, 5-minute by 5-minute review of whatever movie she was watching on Turner Classics Movies. So I didn't stick with the call for as long as she wanted. She wanted to just narrate the movie to me while she was watching it. So yes, I had the same thing. Of course, I didn't stay on those calls as long as but my wife, yeah.
Red alert, Johnny. Red alert. This podcast is about me talking about every movie I've watched on Turner Classic Movies. Did I just remove Palm Springs? You want to go back to Palm Springs Weekend with Connie Stevens?
Love it. Well, you and I have a lot of good memories of Palm Springs. That was a major party city for our families.
I've decided that if I could buy a second home anywhere, Palm Springs.
That would be it.
I have such fond memories, and every time we go back there, I seem to have a great time. I never go in July, and
we came out of the movies one time in the summer, so July, August. We walked out, and movie had just done, so it's 10:30 at night, and the wind is so hot it burns our cheeks. The breeze was so hot it burnt us. Allison's favorite month was when she had the second baby. We had both kids in Palm Springs. The second baby, it was a chilly 124 in August. Oh my gosh, it was hot. It's so hot there in the summer that it burns you. You can't be outside. It's the golf capital of America, I swear. Because you can golf all year long, except in July and August. It's so hot. So hot.
September and May.
Yeah, absolutely right. The reality is,
I've been there in May, and it's like $1.05. It's like,
do your activities at 5 a.m. because about 7 a.m. it's 100 every day. It's hot, but the problem is, for every other month, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous and fun, and restaurants, and just a great place to go.
The shops, yeah, that's we do a but back to cementing our relationships.
Relationship show.
Where else is this trail gonna go?
So, do you have any plans with this relationship? Have you purchased your twin graves for your spouse? A lot of people buy their burial sites in advance together. Have you done that yet?
No.
No, neither have I. No. Why haven't you? You're of all the people I've ever known, you are the most careful about everything. Why have you not done it yet? Not that oh, by the way,
I
I've
don't
got a
think it's
great idea for a purchase that I want you to make. Jimmy's Burial Central in Palm Springs.
uh, that's my parents did not feel that that real estate investment had a great return.
It didn't appreciate.
My parents are in the front yard of their house.
Ah, oh, nice. That's a surprise relationship topic.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it that they did that? Any insight to this? This is a great show to talk about that.
Is it? Well, I don't know. It's I suppose it gets into religion and what you think of the what you think should happen to your earthly remains after you move on to the happy hunting ground in the sky. You know, you can spend a lot of money. Here's a question. When was the last time you went to your grandparents' graves?
Well,
for me, it was the day we buried them.
Yeah. So it's a great topic because I don't have any affinity for going and looking. Never. I mean, I have literally never gone without being coerced.
No, Chris went. She went and did a little tour just over the holidays and went to some of their sites.
Nice.
But that it's not frequent.
And it's not for you or I, obviously. Not a big.
I don't think so. I think it's. I think for now they do make you look good for that viewing. When you go to the viewing, there you are looking
embalmed.
Just we're headed out for a New Year's Eve party, and it's I think you'd buy a pretty nice sports car with the money you spent on that. And personally, it's like, kids, get the car, go to Road America, drive around the track. About halfway around on one of the lap tours, just start dumping my ashes all the way around there. Let me be consumed into everybody's. Let my ashes cause a little bit of wear in somebody's Coventry Climax engine.
Nice. I like the sound of that. Yeah, I told Allison, just dump me in a stream. I don't even get the urn. Just get a coffee can. Just dump me in the. I'm like your mom and dad. Just dump me in the crate and chuck me in the backyard. I don't even care. Don't even bury me.
So that's let's see. The relationship.
You're on number 4. You've given us 5. So
number 4. I don't want to go back to the. I don't want to go back to the bathroom, but I think it's an important point. A relationship builder is I always give my wife and myself the privacy we need when using the restroom.
Nice.
I don't want to create one of those. What's my favorite movie with Nicole Kidman? It's
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. I don't want to create that. We're both in the bathroom together. There's one sink and one toilet, and you're on it.
You're on. So that is number 4.
Try and privacy, please. Let's just use the word.
I like a little privacy goes a long way for the Heine man.
Yes. Yeah, I call me old-fashioned, whatever it is. That's why they put a door on the outhouse.
That is 100% true. I would agree with that. Very good tip. See, you've got, without even having a relationship pod, you've got these ideas. It's like, boom, 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 boom. They flow out of you because you're the man.
You want to go to number 3?
Yeah, I do. Does a bear poop in the woods? Yeah, I do.
Okay. Never tell your wife when you buy a new sports car. Just hide it. Buy car covers. You can cloak these with the Harry Potter cloaking device called a car cover.
Yep.
And if she says, "What's that?" or "Where did all the money go?"
That's the old one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the other one.
Old one. The old one. There's just a lot of man laws. I was selling an old, maybe, I hope I haven't covered this story before. I was selling an old Porsche.
You did not cover it.
And it was not one in mint condition.
Yeah.
A 914, I think, had been hitting the door, had a dent in it. So this dude shows up and he's going to look at the car and looks around the car. The thing runs, but barely. And he's walking around and he goes, he is not going to take this little gemstone home to his wife.
Yeah.
And he announces, he says, "I don't know. I'd probably have to go talk it over with my wife."
Oh, he was not
like,
buying that car ever.
Yes, but think about the excuse. "I can't buy this car. I gotta go ask my mommy." Bro, who wears the pants around here? Not you. You gotta go ask your mommy if you can buy this car. Why don't you just say, "I think it's a piece of junk and I'm not buying it"? Say that. It's not as good.
It's more honest.
Talking about my wife with this car purchase.
Speaking of not disrespecting our mommies, we do not believe that you should use that as an excuse. Talking to my mom. I gotta talk to my mom about it.
Gotta go discuss the finances with my wife.
Well, you'd never buy anything. My mom used to walk in with armfuls of new clothes and hide them from my dad. Oh, this old thing? She did the same thing. And
Around here it's like Hogan's Heroes. You know, they're like, we're snuggling stuff in through the tunnels. It's like, my wife doesn't know a new Weber carburetor from an old SU carburetor. Once it's out of the box, hey, it's a
carburetor.
I took that off one of the old wrecks out there.
And that because that's relationship advice number 3, that is helps you go a long way. Just do most of the lying. Never be honest with your spouse about purchases, because it does not end well. It ends in divorce.
I mean, there's this constant. I mean, that's my wife. This new house has, like, the selling point for me was the 12-foot high garage so that you could put a lift in.
Oh,
and the selling point for her was a 10,000 square foot closet.
Yeah.
With its own laundry rack, like you have down at the dry cleaners.
Insane. But that's great.
And that closet is fuller than my garage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's something going on upstairs that Colonel Klink is obviously sleeping right through.
You know nothing. You see nothing. Yeah, you're sleeping through that too. That would be Chris's. It's good Chris doesn't watch the pod, because now she'll know the secrets that it's being smuggled in.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
There have been several relationship runs at the rocks based on this whole car thing.
The White Cliffs of Dover, where she's just about pushing you over and put you at the bottom of the rocks, and she just waits for a second. Thank goodness. We need you. Don't let her completely throw you over the cliffs. We need you for every Wednesday, desperately. So, any 2 and 1? Are we waiting for 2 and 1? Let's wait. Let's make it natural.
Well, I was just going to take a right turn off to Ear Candy. And if you haven't already, everybody needs a song on their playlist.
Thank you.
Everybody needs a song on their playlist from the band Queen.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to recommend I'm in Love with My Car.
Oh, it's a
Listen
great
to that
song.
one. Isn't it a great song? If you listen, if
Huge.
you watch that movie about Freddie Mercury, he makes an offhand comment about it.
And it was your favorite part.
It's my favorite part because he says that Freddie Mercury obviously thought it was the worst song. And I said, "Oh, that's the only one from your band that I have on my playlist." All
I
that
love
crap,
that song.
forget it. Another one, Bites the Dust. Ugh.
Never. The album, The
I'm in love
Game.
with my car.
No.
And when it comes up, nobody ever knows that's Queen.
Oh,
Like, who is this
it's
band?
how can they not? He's got these operatic highs. He's just like this screaming in a perfect, falsetto. Oh, it's absolutely a Queen song. That's a great one. Relationship number 2. Get I'm in Love with My Car from Queen on your playlist. It's a good one. It might be on the album Sheer Heart Attack, maybe. And that album is chock full of deep cuts. So if you have not, I mean, like you said, the big hits of Queen, everybody's heard 1,000 times. But the deep cuts on Sheer Heart Attack, oh my gosh, they're fantastic. They were early on, and man, they're good. So great ear candy. Good job, Heine, man. You just dropped me in there in like an on natural. Just went right to ear candy. I guess we should do eye candy. So here's eye candy. If you haven't watched Carry On Netflix with Jason Bateman, Taron Egerton, if you haven't seen that yet, mega hit in the holidays. Oh my gosh, you got to see it. It's a lot like the shows. Lots of tension, lots of guns, lots of bad guys. The night clerk, the night agent, night manager, all those, spy, cop, bad guy, terrorist type movies. A lot of movies that's extremely popular now. My goodness. The cat and mouse of the good guys and bad guys.
It really seems interesting that they would come up with a show like that based on lost luggage in an overhead bin.
Look at you. You brought it back, baby. That's a callback, brother.
Call back.
Nice.
So, of all of the, I have force fed you 4 great relationship builders. Come on. Feed me number 1. Feed me.
All right.
I guess you
Okay.
did the sync thing.
I joined in on your sync one. Next week you're going to get 5 bold ones for the Valentine's show, but I will give you one that will help you in your family. When your sons and grandsons walk in and they are dressed in full female regalia, do not bat an eyelash. There's nothing wrong with it. They love it. Let that flag fly, baby. Both of my kids, we'd get photos from their teachers, full on dresses, hair, gloves. What are the things that go up the legs from the 80s? Leg warmers. Full on photos when they were in preschool. Man, I loved them. Showed them to the. I'm like, look what your teacher sent us. Look how good you look. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That is my number 1 relationship builder with your kids. Let them go through phases, baby. We went goth. We went gangster rap phase. Don't let it bother you. It's just, we're all growing our flags. Let them fly, baby. So that's mine this week. You get more next week, but that's mine this week. That's my bonus. That's my 1A relationship builder with your family.
Okay.
What? You
I
hate
don't. I don't
mine?
know that. I don't think. I don't know. That's we. Well, I didn't. You know what? Interestingly enough, my kids self-disciplined on that kind of stuff.
They
They would
they
back and
never
forth
dressed up
go,
in
no.
drag?
Well, I don't remember that as a kid, maybe, but when you're 5, but when it came to going, when it came to going down the goth or the gangster rap trails in Albuquerque, those were alleys and back roads you didn't turn on to.
Oh. So that was verboten. That it would never happen.
I mean, first came the haircut, and next came the heroin shot. So,
Oh,
by some grace of God, uh,
Miss.
there's got to be some middle ground there on what's going on.
Yeah. Well, isn't it probably the association, the friend association is awfully big. If you just happen to be in the association with folks that are, have good intentions, you'll probably do all right in the younger years.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we know people who did not do well that are already passed away and who have had challenges. As far as I can tell, it might just be some luck because, to be honest, I feel like I was just lucky because I could have, all the really bad stuff could have been me.
I think of several times when people were waving that stuff under my nose.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
there was always someone else, unsuspecting, who would take my little hand and swat it and say no,
No.
or would say, "No, I'm not sniffing that cocaine." And then it made it very easy for me to jump on the boat with them and say, "No, I'm not sniffing that cocaine either."
No, thank you.
Which I did. And I can think of 2 times in my life where it was like, I'm under a lot of pressure here to do this.
Yeah. The funniest thing is it's not typically your enemies. I mean, it's not the dude that, you don't hang out. It's your best friends. That's the problem. Your best friends are the ones that are like, hey, why don't you try? It's always that. So it's major peer pressure.
Humans are so complicated. I always wonder, it's like the guy who was offering it. God, I think he was an accountant. He had a Porsche, beautiful house, beautiful wife, and there he.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
nose candy.
That coming, and I don't know where. And that was the last time I went to his house.
Yeah. Rough basis of friendship is the mind-altering drugs. Yeah, I'm like you. I feel like it just totally got really, thank goodness, lucky, because I have a problem. If I like something, boy, I've got an addictive personality. So I feel like I was just lucky that I never did it, because it would be an enormous problem for me. I got on the weird kicks, and that's it. I ended up with 70 guitars that I could barely play, so I know all about addictive personalities.
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking of, those were, for all the kids out there, if you want a really, really great investment, holy smokes, buy expensive musical instruments, because those bad boys don't get remade. Oh my gosh. Of all the successes in my life with money, holy smokes, I wish I'd done that more. I bought a ton of them, had a wall full of them. And holy smokes, those all appreciated, even the ones that you'd never think. And man alive, that was the best. Because they just, normally they don't make stuff again really good, really handmade. You make a killing on that stuff. So that's my weird suggestion.
It's the sports car market is certainly flat. Don't do that. And
When you all of your experience with that great hobby, it's just a pricey hobby. I mean, it might be the most expensive scuba diving and car ownership.
Scuba diving is cheap.
Yeah, in comparison, yeah. Golf is expensive. If you're a crazy golfer, that's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, and it all depends on how much you're doing these things. That's my buddy used to tell me. Yeah, this car racing is you just sit in your car and burn $100 bills.
That was all too true for you. You're just like you need to tell me that. You were just commiserating. He wasn't telling you something you didn't know. He was just like letting you in on the cesspool of money. It's like a boat. Oh, there we go. That's a boat ownership. That is like
It's pretty relatively cheap.
You just have one of them. Yeah, you just have one boat.
Yeah, and generally, I mean, it might have a little maintenance. The problem with boats is mostly, you buy one and it sits in the yard and rots.
Yeah, you never use it.
It's, you use it, the year you get it, you're out there every weekend, and then it starts to taper off.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the second home. So we did, we had that Palm Springs house, but you feel so guilty if you don't use it. So if it's a second, that's the problem is, you really can get a second house pretty easy, but you never use it enough. So the guilt, just every weekend, you feel like you have to go.
Airbnb comes into play.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, no matter how much you pay for your Palm Springs Airbnb, it's less than the air conditioning in July for it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whenever you're tempted to get a place, just don't do that and just Airbnb it when you go to that place. It'll save you $100,000 in realtor fees.
Yeah, unless you're just independently wealthy. It's tough. It's
all right.
Well,
so do you have your final? I mean, are we up to your fifth relationship thing? Number one, or
you gave it to me.
I did that one. All right.
I don't have relationships with your kids, I guess.
It's this is the relationship show. So this isn't necessarily. Yeah, next week, our Valentine's show, we're given the dating stuff. Yeah, this was family. Did you, what was your favorite since it's all about, what was your favorite family vacation that you guys took that was memorable?
My father had the dream of going and renting a boat and cruising the San Juan Islands.
Oh, wow.
So in 1977, he pulled it off, and we did it. We rented a 45-foot cabin cruiser boat, and my sister, my mom, brother, grandfather, and dad all set off out, and we cruised through the San Juan Islands up in the Puget Sound, I believe it's called.
Gorgeous.
And a ton of memories on that one, and fun stuff, out catching crabs, cooking them up on the boat.
Nice.
Digging clams. My mom would make clam chowder on the boat.
Wow.
Cruising into the little islands, hopping in the dinghy and rowing in and getting a hamburger at a restaurant, and trying to fish and catch stuff. It was that, and we all had to drive up there in my uncle's conversion van, and I remember gas was 80 cents a gallon out in the middle of Idaho, and I thought the world was coming to an end
because it was 80 cents.
The gas was.
And so 70s.
That was a great trip, and it was my dad's kind of thing he wanted to do.
Bucket list.
Loved it. How about you?
Yeah, well, similar. We did the most popular vacations for everybody is they're family oriented ones, like the beach, the Disney ones, national parks. But we had one where we just packed the car full of the stuff and just drove up, north from California, and did the fishing, salmon fishing, the golfing, and man, we all just look back on that. Same thing, you know, kind of interesting because it was not the normal prepackaged, resort kind of thing. But boy, everybody loved it. We have great memories of just, small towns and stays at unique hotels and stuff. So yeah, maybe a little bit of the same feel because we went and same thing, caught crabs, caught an octopus out fishing, real, Allison caught a nice big salmon. So we had so that should be our relationship capper. Plan on one trip in your life to, really make it memorable, do something unique maybe, and make it so that everybody enjoys it. Because that, for you and I, obviously, we loved it.
But I don't think you know what I don't think you know what the one trip is that's going to
Yeah,
be it.
you never know.
I think well, we think about how pumped you were when you were a little kid about the thought of going camping. And I look at the camping trips that we did that I was so, next weekend, 2 weeks away, we are going to go out and set up tents and roll in the dirt. And I'm going to get to listen to my dad bitch at my mom about setting up the tent and how,
And it's wet and cold.
oh,
Nightmare.
I remember one trip, you're so psyched to go up to, we're finally going to go to Bear Lake.
Nice.
Finally, never been to Bear Lake. And so we go up to Bear Lake and it's on Memorial Day weekend. And so the first day it snows and we put everything back in the car and drive home. It's like, whoa.
Debbie Downer vacation. You never know what's going to be the perfect one.
Yeah, I remember it's like I was just jazzed to go to the lake. And that's
so funny.
You can't plan anything before June 1st because it's probably
Mother's Day.
Snow.
Yeah, snow. Yeah, weird like that because like you said, my dad had an appointment up in Montana for his work, and we went up, and it's like half vacation, half my dad worked. Well, the family that we visited had motorcycles, which I had never ridden, and they had horses. So talk about memorable. My dad had a work appointment, and it ended up being an incredible thing because I'd never ridden a horse. I'd never ridden a motorcycle. So, like you say, you never know what's going to be like the most fantastic memories ever. And the fact that I actually got saddle sore, which I'll never do again. That was incredible. So, good point. Good point, Henry.
I think maybe at this point in the show, it's time that we have a reading, from
Here. So is this an emotional thing?
Tag onto this. Well, I think it is. It's a lifetime. We're talking about life coaching here, and that always brings to mind, Kenny Loggins' autobiography, Still All Right.
I know it's one of your favorites.
All right now.
Would it be okay if you could do a little reading of one of your most favorite and most inspirational sections from the book?
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave.
I would just like to say, and this is, what is it on page 47, verse 12, lines 32 through 39?
Yes, it is.
The more honest you can be, the less you have to hide. When I have nothing to hide, I have everything to give.
With that Kenny Loggins inspiration, We give you a kiss goodbye. Moi, au revoir, my love.
Thanks for listening to Checking In with Hein and Johnny. You can follow all things Hein and Johnny by subscribing to Checking In with Hein and Johnny anywhere you listen to podcasts. Checking In with Heine and Johnny is sponsored by Conveyors and Equipment. They supply, design, and service all types of conveyors, belting, and material handling equipment since 1972. With 3 locations to serve you, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and El Paso. Find them on the web at conveyequip.com. That's CONVEYEQUIP.com.